Essential riding tips to get you riding further, faster, more comfortably and safer. So, not promising too much then. Pace yourself. The fastest and most comfortable way of getting from A to B is by going at an even pace. It's really easy to set off hard and then compromise your ability to even hold an easy pace, meaning that you get slower and slower. This is true from short steep climbs to 6-hour rides. The principle remains exactly the same. Think about measuring your effort for the right amount of time to get you where you want to go, whether it's the top of the climb or back to your front door. Look where you're going. It sounds remarkably obvious, but then it's also surprisingly easy to forget. Looking where you're going means dragging your eyes away from your front wheel to scanning 5 to 20 meters ahead of you so that you know what's coming up and then can react to it safely ahead of time. But it's even more important than that though. When cornering, you'd naturally tend to go where you're looking. So make sure you look where you actually want to go. Don't fixate on things like the edge of the road or, for example, a parked car on the outside of the corner. Practice your skills riding in a straight line. It's very easy to get into the mindset that the key to unlocking your riding potential is just to get fitter and fitter. And that certainly will make you faster, but don't neglect to work on your technique. One particular one that will help not only you but anyone you ride with is being able to ride in a straight line. It's essential for safe riding in a group, and that is the key to going further and faster in the long run. We suggest you practice riding in a straight line while going really slowly to hone your balance, and then that should pay off when you pick up your speed again to normal riding pace. Descend on the drops. For the majority of riders, descending on the drops will help build speed and confidence. And that's because holding the bars on the drops is a more secure position for your hands. You're much less likely to lose grip, and so you can hold the bars more loosely, which in turn helps you to relax. You can also operate the brakes here with more force than you can from the brake hoods. Brake before you get to corners. Traction is the biggest limiting factor to cornering speed, but one of the ways you can ensure you get the most grip you possibly can is by avoiding braking during the corner. That means doing all your slowing down before you have to start turning. Most experienced riders will still use brakes in corners, but that's a result of gradually building back up from not using the brakes while turning at all. So, as a place to start, avoid using those brakes and then feel the benefit. Get comfortable slipstreaming to save energy. As we mentioned earlier, riding in a group is key to going further and faster, not to mention being enjoyable and sociable. Slipstreaming behind another rider can save you as much as 30 to 40% of your effort, but it can feel disconcerting or even frightening when you first set out. Practice the right technique though, and you'll be slipstreaming like a pro in no time. Sit between 1 to 2 meters behind the rider in front to give them room to do something unexpected. But don't look at their rear wheel, continue to look at the road ahead, even if that means looking through that rider in front. You do of course have to trust the people you're riding with, so try to find experienced riders to help show you the way. And it also means that when you have someone on your wheel, you have to assume the responsibility of looking after them. So that means communicating hazards and not doing anything unpredictable. Relax. It's easier said than done, but being relaxed really helps your riding, making descending and cornering in particular much faster, not to mention requiring much less effort, which is really noticeable when climbing. There are few shortcuts to being more relaxed, other than spending time on the bike and working on your technique. But if you're focused on the importance of it, then that is certainly the first step to achieving your Zen-like state. One other tip is to try going slower as well as constantly striving to go faster. If going quicker makes you nervous, then go slower, relax and work on developing the technique and sensation of riding like that before building your speed back up again with your newfound confidence. The front brake is the most effective brake. The other secret to going faster and being relaxed is to be able to brake effectively and stop quickly. No one can comfortably go faster if they can't stop. So as well as making sure your brakes are effective mechanically, you need to be able to use them correctly out on the road. Your front brake is by far and away the most effective way to slow down. You can compensate for the feeling that you might go over the handlebars by moving your weight backwards over the saddle. The faster you slow down, the more you need to shift your weight back. It's really worth getting used to the feeling of this by practicing a few emergency stops to try and hardwire the feeling of using your front brake in this way. Don't wear underwear under your cycling shorts. Not so much a riding tip, but certainly essential knowledge. If you've made the transition to wearing cycling specific shorts, not necessarily tight lycra, then you need to know that you shouldn't wear underwear when you have shorts with a pad in, like this. This is designed to go next to the skin, so add any fabric between this layer and your butt, and you're increasing the risk of getting chafed and sore. So, go commando. Climb at a comfortable pace and then slowly increase it if you can. Riding at an even effort is much faster than if you go too hard and then blow, not to mention being much less painful. Equipment. Most new bikes come with compact gears, where the chainrings are slightly smaller than traditional ones and the rear cassette is slightly bigger. This is a huge bonus when it comes to both long climbs and steep climbs, as it gives